keep attracting people who are filled with excuses instead of excited to sign up for your offers, there's a hole in your messaging and marketing strategy. And most often, it's because you don't really have one in place. Winging it while posting and hoping isn't a profitable marketing plan. A client came to me completely at a loss recently of why more people weren't buying her group coaching program, since she said, quote unquote, amazing and people have gotten great results. Her desire was to scale her group programs and have high 5- and 6-figure launches several times a year so that she could be free to travel the rest of the year, focus on other things like writing a book and really pouring into her wellness and her other passions that she has in her life. But obviously she can't do that when only 6 to 10 people are signing up for her group programs at a time. The problem wasn't her program or her credibility or even her likability. It was how she was presenting her program. Both the messaging and the branding were repelling people instead of attracting them without her even realizing it. If you're tired of hearing the same old basic mindset and motivational fluff talk, you've come to the right show. Welcome to Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the podcast, where we dish on everything from managing that crazy brain of yours to manifesting abundance to my straightforward, actionable steps that will make you major money online. Now, I'm not your typical multimillionaire entrepreneur. It takes a small village to keep my anxiety and depression in check. I'm inherently disorganized with an intense obsession with office supplies. Your girl here is a digital marketing content expert who's generated over $200 million in sales. I promise by tuning in twice a week, you will get a much needed refreshing dose of truth, clarity, and cash making advice. Now let's get to it. Yes, hello, Basic Content Online. This is Lois. How can I help you? You have a complaint? Okay, what's your complaint? On Instagram, you have a complaint about all the balloons. Can you be more specific, please? All the balloons of all the people putting the number of the amount of money that they're making in balloon form. Okay, is there any other part of this complaint you'd like me to add? Oh, the number of followers that they've gotten to with the balloons. So numeric balloons are what's bothering you. Oh, no, this is quite common. This is my 2,747th complaint I've received about this in the last 3 weeks. Are there any other complaints that you want to provide? The word X, help me understand. X is not a word. Oh, when people use common words and they put an X on the end. Can you give me an example, please? Oh, energetic spelled with an X. Yes, it is quite strange. Let me see if anyone else has complained about this. Oh, okay. So energetic spelled with an X to make you feel like it's something more special, something metaphysical, something out of body to try to get you to sign up for something. Okay, thank you so much. Have a great day. Lois has lots of things. Please let me know what your basic content hotline complaints are. You can DM me on Instagram at ProjectME with Tiffany, and I love to hear them. And we'll make sure that Lois takes care of it. And I'm dead serious. Please submit your complaints that you have about any form of content across any of the social media platforms. I just really couldn't resist that. Yes, there is something you're missing in your business, marketing, branding, and messaging if the people are not buying. In coaching and consulting with well over 150,000 people worldwide, it really does boil down to one of 3 holes. And this is from everyone from a solopreneur, coach, or a healer to a medical professional, to a multi-billion or even trillion-dollar company that I work behind the scenes on. It's across the board. So let's get into this. If you are not a mega fan of yourself, your work, or your offers, if you don't 150% believe in what you deliver, why would a stranger believe it and hand over their money? So hot tip, if you wouldn't be excited to buy or share your programs or products, then it needs to be reworked until you do. And this goes for your free stuff. And this goes for your paid stuff at any price point, because that excitement that you have for your thing, even for your Instagram page, your TikTok, your Pinterest, your excitement is what's going to make you feel proud and confident and have the conviction to talk about it and to be insistent with your ideal client and saying, listen, like, my podcast is popping. Like, you're crazy to not be over there and listening to it. Or you've got to get on my email list. Like, what I share on there is gold. And by the way, that is facts. And that link is in the show notes. So you're going to want to swipe up. That's my Secret Posse weekly digest. It's exclusive content. So you're getting stories and exercises and hot tips and hacks on money mindset, managing your fear, manifestation. And it is all designed for you to digest these emails in under 40 seconds. And I make sure they're timed to come at exactly the right time, delivered to you right when you need to have a pick-me-up or when you need a cute little love slap in the face from me. So let's talk about this like hot tip a little bit further. So if you're not excited by your stuff, sometimes it could be because you're in fear and you're in so much resistance, and it's like, oh my God, I don't know if they like it, I'm confused, should I do this? I mean, I was a super freak about this new podcast cover that we put out, and I've never changed the cover since I started the show. And I was in all this resistance. I didn't like it. Was it me not liking it? Sometimes it can get muddy in there. Is it the thing we don't like, or do we have resistance behind doing the thing? And that's why entrepreneurship, none of this stuff can be done on your own. If I didn't have, shout out Brenda Johnson, God love you. If I did not have her and Samantha Parker, two people helping me with this cover, there would not be this new cover, in which is amazing. And I love it. And I hope you guys love it too. It wouldn't have happened because I was so much in my own way. So don't try to do this stuff alone. It's dangerous because then you end up not putting it out there, or you half-ass it, or you get into perfectionistic mode and it's never good enough and it's never ready and you have to do 85 renditions and then it feels so hard and then it never happens and you don't make money and you don't help anybody and you don't get to that lifestyle that you want to create for yourself, your family, and the people you care about. Number 2. You're speaking to a bunch of different people instead of specifically speaking to one person. So this makes it harder to build trust and intimacy, which is required for someone to hand you their money. It's really weird when I read people's emails or even like sales page copy, and it's like they're speaking to a room of thousands and thousands of people when it's just me on the other end of that phone, sitting on the couch while probably watching Housewives at the same time. And I'm looking through it and it's not pulling me in because it's speaking to everyone. It's not just speaking to me. And therefore, I don't end up having that feeling of this person really gets my unique set of circumstances. This person understands my unique personality, my unique troubles, because all of us believe our situations in life are pretty unique. It's just how we're wired as human beings. We feel like we're kind of alone and stuff. We have nuances that other people don't have. Like most people don't typically get it or understand. And the great thing is when you can write your copy and messaging in a way where someone goes, oh my God, someone finally gets me. Someone finally understands. Even if that person doesn't buy right then, you're going to have a longtime fan because they're going to feel validated. They're going to feel heard. They're going to feel understood, and they're going to lean into you. And it might take them a little longer to build some trust. Maybe they've been burned in the past. Maybe they've invested money with other coaches or other programs or practitioners that haven't worked out. Maybe they have something going on in their personal life that's a different priority right now, but they're going to still be leaned into their world, and eventually they'll buy from you. Or they'll refer friends to you who they know are at the point of ready to buy for that specific offer that might be a better fit for them at that time. The hot tip is get to know your ideal client as well as you know your BFF. What does she find funny? What does she find stupid? What annoys her? What stresses her out? What does she believe she's missing? What does she believe she's doing wrong? What does she believe that she needs that will get her closer to what she wants? When you go into a store and you see a cute mug that makes you think of your best friend and you take a picture of it and you send it to her, you come across a funny meme and you send it to her, that's how much I want you to know your ideal client. It's your duty and it's your privilege to be able to do that. And it's my honor. My job is to get to know you better and better and better and deeper and deeper and deeper, just like you create a closer, more intimate, more grounded, stronger relationship with a human being in real life. When you do that and you make that a priority, it's no different than what you need to do with that ideal client. The third hole, you're creating things based on what you know your client needs versus what they believe they need right now. And this is very, very dangerous and very common. I see this a lot with people in the mindset space, in the healing space. A lot of my medical practitioners, healers do this because you've done so much work. You're so educated, trained, took classes, have credentials. You're on this other plane, right? Like my soulpreneurs, you're on this other plane. You know what they need. They need to really believe in themselves. They need to work on their self-worth and on loving themselves. You know that what they need to do is release and let go and prioritize their energy and really do things to tap in every day at a higher frequency. All this stuff because you've been through it, but they're not there yet. That's not what they believe they need right now. And I'm going to be giving you examples. So, because I know you guys learn really, really well from examples. You want to know why? Because I know you. That's why you resonate and you vibrate on this show. That sounded sexual, but you know what I mean, is because I have deliberately taken God knows how many hours, days, weeks, years of my time in a beautiful way of making sure I get to know you so I can serve you better. And I want to. That's my job. Just as you have a significant other, which why don't we say that term anymore? Why is significant other like out of date? Why do we only say partner now? Can someone really help me understand this? Is it kind of like significant others, like a little diminishing? I'm just curious because it's not said anymore. It's like the only people who say it are like old millennials and Gen Xers and boomers. Like, and anything else, like if you're like 36 and under, you're like significant other. Like that's very weird. Anyway, I digress, but I find it very, very fascinating. So let's go to the hot tip zone with this stuff. All right. The hot tip here is that people will only buy what they believe they need, even if it sounds basic or insane to you. It might even be like absolutely bewildering to you. That doesn't even make sense. It might even be a little judgy, like stupid. Like they can't really believe that that's what they need. So I'm going to give an example and out myself from my own life. And then I'm going to get an example of one of my posse members that recently said this in the group and what I said back with love, without any judgment. Cause I've been there. Listen, I'm never in a place to judge. Okay. Like, unless it's like you've offed somebody, cause I've done most things. I've done more things than you guys realize I've done. And you guys know I've done a lot if you're a longtime listener. Take a screenshot of the show, share it on social media, tag me at ProjectME with Tiffany, share it with a friend who you know would find this valuable, share it with a few people, and make sure you leave a 5-star review of the show on Apple Podcasts and or Spotify or both. And if you send that screenshot of your review and DM it to me at ProjectME with Tiffany, I'm going to treat you to a luxuriating beverage of your choice. So that'd be crazy not to do that. Make sure inside the review that you leave, if you do a written review, this only qualifies for written reviews. Make sure you put your name or Instagram handle in there so I know it's yours. If you only have a couple seconds, just tap the 5 stars. That literally takes you 2 seconds. And that's all you can do on Spotify anyway. And on Apple, you can just do the 5 stars and you can come back later and do a written review. It still lets you. It doesn't cancel that out. But if you want the luxuriating beverage, which I don't know why you wouldn't, because it's free and it's coming from me and from a beautiful, abundant space, then you do need to leave a written review for me. Take a screenshot, put your name or Instagram handle in the review, and DM me at ProjectME with Tiffany. So here's an example of this. If someone was marketing to me, and this is like the old Tiffany, the Tiffany who was the shit show Tiffany, the real shit show Tiffany, who had zero clue what was going on, workaholic, exercise addict, disaster. If that Tiffany was marketed to of saying self-worth, this is my program that's going to increase your self-worth, your self-worth ignited or some crap like that. Even if I felt the person who was the coach or the teacher, the practitioner of it was incredible, and I listened to their podcast and I read their books and I thought they were amazing and they were honest and all these things, I would have never bought it, whether it was $1, whether it was $1,000, whether it's $50,000, whether 80 people I know did it, I wouldn't have bought it because I didn't believe that I had a self-worth problem. In fact, I would have been offended by it and I would have gone, self-worth? Like, I have self-worth. Because to me, self-worth at that time meant being confident. And I felt I was confident. I didn't understand what that meant. And I read about a gazillion books in this personal development world and had a gazillion hours of all sorts of therapy. And I didn't know. And I wouldn't have bought it. Now, what would I have bought at that time? I would have bought the problem I was facing, that I had a lot of toxic people in my life, toxic relationships, whether it was in the workplace, in my personal life, and I didn't know how to stop attracting these people, and I didn't know what's wrong, and it was so draining, and I wanted to start attracting genuine, loving, supportive, wonderful people, and this program was going to help me with that. I would have signed up. I would have paid a lot of money for it. I would have paid probably, I don't know, 10, 15 grand for a program like that because it was that big of a problem. So there's an example in that area. Another quick example, because I mentioned I'd share the posse example, is I had someone come in the posse, a new member, which by the way, right now we have a flash sale going on inside the posse. That is my famous ProjectME Posse business coaching program where every single week you get live trainings from me and other special guest experts. There is no better value that's out there in the business coaching world. This is designed for people between $0 and $15,000 a month. If you're above $15,000 a month, I suggest you swipe up and apply to work with me privately, or you get on the wait list for my mastermind. That'd be a better fit for you. But we even have people who are making hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars a year that go in the posse for the accountability and the fact that there's always something to learn. There's always something to learn and implement because in there I cut out all the fluff. You have enough information. What you need is implementation, and you need support and accountability that you're going to implement the thing. You have the support so you can ask questions, you can get feedback, you can rework things, reconfigure things, and you have the accountability of the group. We also always have a support element in there for all the meltdowns and the nonsense and the fear and the resistance and the self-doubt and all the ickiness that comes up when you're pursuing your dreams and you're building a business, and everyone gets really raw and vulnerable because so do I. And it's a beautiful outlet. There's lots of tears. There's lots of honesty. There's lots of love. And that's one of the most beautiful things that comes out of this community. So you can get in there right now. Again, swipe up. That's inside the show notes. You can get all the details. What I've added is you can join for a year now because we have the month-to-month option, but now you can join for a year, get 2 months for free, and you get a $2,500 bonus for free, which is a semi-private coaching session with me. Never have offered this before. It is a limited offer. I believe the date we have in there that it expires is January 27th. So swipe up, grab it, and I'm excited to see you in there. All right. So this posse member came in and she's like, okay, I have sales, but it's not where I want them to be. And I have a product-based business and people like my stuff, but I don't feel they like it enough where they can't wait for the next thing to come out. Can't wait for the next thing to come out. They're kind of like one and done. I don't feel like they refer that many people to come back to the shop. And so I started like looking through it. You don't get like private coaching in the posse, but when we work on certain things, if you volunteer and you show up live, we use you as an example. So you get true business group coaching, which is why the value is so high. So using her as an example, the problem was the products and the stuff that she was putting out there were not really that exciting to her target audience. The target audience that she had are in a different age category. They are people who were wanting something that like made a statement about them, that they could wear a shirt, they could wear a hat, they could wear a tank top that like made a statement in the world, like their opinion about the world, the opinion about what's going on, their opinion about themselves. And her stuff was muted down. I said, your stuff is toned down. I don't want to say basic, because your designs aren't basic, your fonts aren't basic, like your quality isn't basic, but your messaging is kind of like it's watered down. It's like you're holding back. And what came up is I am holding back. I don't want to offend people. I don't want people to think I'm taking a political stance. I don't want people to think I'm vulgar, blah, blah, blah. And I go, well, let's just experiment. And you put out maybe 2 things or 3 things. Like maybe you come out with a flash line, like a pop-up line that is the uninhibited version, creative version of you. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. What do you think happened? Sold out within minutes. So these are the things that happen in business that we don't realize are happening on our own. And she spent a year trying to figure out why she wasn't getting more sales. And in 2 weeks inside the Posse membership at $3.33 a day, she got her answer. Let's go into examples of some of these other holes so that you guys can hear them, okay? So I want you to tell me which sounds better to you. And this goes for wording and naming programs, which I know give so many of you a rash. I have a very interesting, unique gift for naming programs, packaging offers. Thank God I do, because I make millions of dollars off it. Exactly what I teach you guys to do. All of us have unique talents, unique gifts. We're very skilled at something. We have a unique take on something. We're really good at teaching whatever. Well, then we package it and we sell our gifts to people who aren't as gifted in those areas. This is how we help people and we help ourselves. And it really gets to be that simple. All right. Which sounds better to you? Bangin' Body Bootcamp, feel confident in your body in 12 weeks and lose weight. Or Bangin' Body by Springtime, a specialty program designed to build lean muscle and lose fat in 12 weeks without extreme exercise or dieting. Okay. I know which one sounds better to me. So I wanted you to hear that. And in the show notes, I've written these in there. I've typed these in there so you can actually go see them for yourself and like visually see them and read them and go, okay, I see what she's saying. Here's another one in a different industry. Mindset Makeover, a course that teaches you how to manage the negative thoughts in your mind. Or Mindset Makeover, set your mind up to be a magnetic match for the next level of abundance, focus, and incredible relationships in your life. A self-paced course designed for busy professionals to binge in a weekend. Okay? Again, go take a look. So you just wording things different, you flipping some things around. Sometimes it's one word that's actually repelling people. I'll give you a hint. Using the word just, J-U-S-T, or any version of that in any language is diminishing. Even the phrase thank you or thanks can be diminishing value of your offer. These are the nuances that we get into, whether you're working with me privately, my mastermind, one of my programs, or the Posse. So I want you to go and look at your offers, free or paid, and go, okay, where are the holes here? And what can I use and pull from today's episodes and start tweaking these things? so I can speak to people differently, so I can refine them. Sometimes it's even the visuals and it's the colors of your stuff are repelling. And I'll end with a quick example when it comes to the visuals, because I'm going to do a separate episode on that and a separate training on that inside the posse. When it comes to visuals and colors, those evoke emotions when we see things visually. They're incredibly important. When I was basically dying of adrenal insufficiency and I had zero energy and I couldn't move off the couch and I had a shower sitting down, and I was actively, literally desperate, looking for a coach and looking for a program to help me, I would have paid anything. And I came across people who seemed to understand a little bit about what I was going through, but their branding was so bright that it like repelled me. It was like too bright because I was so low. Seeing bright yellow, exuberant smiles, people bouncing around like with so much energy, and they had like perfect bodies and shit. I was like, oh, hell no. Like, I'm so far away from that. These people won't understand me. They won't get me. This is just going to make me feel worse about myself. And conversely, I did see branding that was a little too dark and moody because I was already in that spot. Now, while that didn't repel me, it made me follow the person. It didn't empower me to take action. It almost kind of was like very nurturing and coddly, which I appreciated at the time, but I didn't buy anything from the person. I was consuming all of their content and I had never bought from them ever. But their stuff felt very safe and helpful to me, and I felt very understood, but I didn't buy. So these are the nuances that will absolutely be game changers in your business. All the ways to work with me. You can swipe up. You want that luxuriating beverage? Go write a 5-star written review on Apple. If you don't have the time, just click the 5 stars. Takes literally 1 second, and you can do that right now on Spotify, and that helps the show grow. It brings a big smile to my face for all the time, energy, and money we pour into this incredible service that we provide all of you. And I'm excited to see you guys in the posse. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.